If you watched yesterday, you know I was trying to rebuild Obsidian, but for me, and I was thinking about my workflow and how I work with development. And I decided there's only going to be one development app in the future, and everything else is going to disappear. And that's what I'm building now instead of my Obsidian clone. And you can beta test this if you want by signing up at testandprod.co. And I will just show you what all of this looks like and what my thinking is behind it. So to show you what I'm thinking about, I'm going to show you what my life looked like about 2-ish years ago. I'm going to show you what my life looks like today and what I think it's going to look like in around 2027 and beyond, and then show you what this app actually looks like. So in 2023-ish, I was still very much in an operator mode. I spent a very small portion of my time building. I was a product manager and also did development type stuff. So I dealt with a lot of people, BS type stuff, just dealing with politics and meetings. If you're a product manager, you know how many meetings you go to. I actually spent a very little time thinking about things I wanted to think about or things that I thought would move the ball forward. I never had enough time to do research, and there was always tech BS stuff to deal with, bugs, fixes, Jira tickets, you name it, dealing with roadmap technology that I was forced to use. But I spent a lot of my time in meetings, managing developers, data scientists, designers, stuff like that, building roadmaps, backlogs, negotiating with stakeholders, justifying my decisions to a bunch of different people. And when it came to coding, AI stuff was out then, but I was still doing like a lot of tab completes, and I was still very deep into the code, fixing bugs, probably even still using Stack Overflow at this point in time, if you remember that app. Fast forward to today, and I kind of think that we are in this conductor slash architect phase. I literally built the conductor framework, and you can, again, get that here, which still works great, even though I think it'll disappear in the future. You'll be able to get that here, and you can also get the roadmap and beta test the app that I'm about to build, that I'm about to show you. But in the conductor architect phase, the people BS stuff has gone down a lot. I get a lot more time to think, and I write. I spend a lot of my time writing, not code, but context for the AI to write the code for me. I get to spend a lot more time researching. The tools have come a long way. So now I can automate a lot of the research, not just on market or user research, but research on new tools and methods. And then I spend a lot of time, well, not a lot of time, but I spend time building, but I actually have like building in quotes here because I wouldn't even call what I'm doing now building per se, like I did 2 or 3 years ago. Right now, I'm more just kind of conducting and managing AIs. And when a deployment breaks or something like that, I go in and I have to actually get my hands dirty and fix it. I know people are all over the spectrum on how they actually build apps, but this is how I'm spending my time now. And I call this kind of just the conductor and architect phase. So fast forward to 2027 plus, and I kind of had this realization while I was going through my workflow yesterday. I was thinking, how do I actually spend my time? And how do I want to spend my time? And how do I think I will spend my time in the future? And I think it's going to come down to more like I'm just going to be thinking and making decisions. If you've seen stuff with like the Ralph Wiggum um, stuff that you can do in Claude Code now, you can literally just define acceptance criteria, which is essentially just saying, this is what I want to happen. And you can point the AI towards that, and it will just loop through itself over and over and over until it accomplishes that task. Ralph Wiggum's a Simpsons character, if you don't know who that is. But yeah, so with tools like this and with tools like testing tools where you can just define acceptance criteria and have the AI go build stuff, and if it screws up, it'll just take time and fix it. It's going to be way better than me or any of us here. It's better than me right now. It'll be better than great programmers here in another year or so, in my opinion, on just fixing the nuts and bolts of web apps, um, like iOS app type of things in the future. So in moving into 2027, I'm trying to become much more of an allocator and get away from coding completely, where I'm just thinking and making decisions and doing less describing of how I want to have things built, and having AI describe to me how things should be built based off of the context that I give it. So building in even bigger quotes now, because by the end of 2027, I don't want to be doing any building. I just want to be making the most profitable decisions I can and then have the AI manage all of my builds. Which brings me to what I think this app is going to look like. And my app won't be the only one. I think there will be a bunch of these type things. But essentially, I think everyone will need to start thinking of themselves as a micro holding company. Okay. So people will switch from being developers to being a venture capitalist of themselves or a financial expert. I, aside from doing this stuff, I'm big into cryptocurrencies and finance. And I think that's where we're actually moving towards. So you'll actually have a little micro holding company. Right now, I have 2 or 3 apps I'm working on. I like fixing bikes and guitars. This is what I was talking about yesterday in my stream. I have a YouTube channel now for 2 weeks, and it's a lot more work than I expected. And what I'm really trying to decide at any point in time in the day is what is it that I should work on? And it's even wrong for me to say I now because it's what should I or any of my AI agents work on? How should I allocate the resources? Let's say in your holding company or micro holding company in the future, you have $100 coming in a day. Well, how do you spend that? How much of that money do you give to Claude Code or whatever the future LLM or agent is going to be? How much of your time are you going to spend on building app A versus building on app B? Or how do you decide which feature you're going to build on? How are you going to decide if you should spend your time building something or spend your time investing in something? Because to invest in something, you have to make a decision about what to invest in. So we are humans at the end of the day, and we can only make so many decisions and we only have so much time. But the real gift that agents are giving us is you can multiply your brain. So now you're not just managing yourself and your time, you're literally managing the thinking output of something else. It's not going to be about developing code. It's going to be about where can you point intelligence and have it make decisions for you. So I see in the future, you're going to have a portfolio of things or just bets that you could potentially allocate time or resources to. This could be an app, this could be a business, this could be an investment, this could be building a home. It's not just going to be about apps anymore. And you need to have some way to make decisions about these. So you're going to apply something like a Sharpe ratio, which, not to get into a finance lesson, but it's just a way to kind of manage risk versus reward. And all you're going to need to do is spend your time making decisions, and the AI will go out and implement and execute things for you. So if this was a slope, I would say my time executing stuff should diminish almost down to 0 in the future if the promise of AI is true. And yeah, that's what I think the world's going to look like. I don't think that you're going to have dev apps, or they'll be there, but you won't need to use them as much. And in the future, they're just going to disappear. And the only thing that you're going to have to do is make decisions. And when big things break or go beyond the resources of or the capabilities of AI, then you're going to have to go in and get your hands dirty, but you're going to need to know when to do that. So I went from building my Obsidian app, my Obsidian clone, which I was really building that because my workflow has become unmanageable in a simple note-taking tool like Obsidian. The real problem behind what I have today is not taking notes or building a second brain. The problem I have is understanding or just how I should allocate my time and resources. And that's what I'm going to build. If you want to beta test this, again, go sign up at the Conductor framework, and I'm going to be building out the small version of this now. I don't think we have the technology yet to build it out the way I envision it, but I will cover my roadmap and I'll be sharing more of this on this channel. So yeah, thanks for watching. Go get the Conductor framework. It's free, and you can beta test this and see the roadmap as I build it. Thanks, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.